Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and happy Friday. I hope this video is a fun little kickoff for your weekend. Today's video is something that has been much requested because it involves, well, what I'm doing is I'm comparing a rectangle mini, Chanel rectangle mini with a small boy bag. And the reason I think that this video is especially useful is that the small boy bag doesn't get a whole lot of attention. And I'll discuss why I think that's kind of justified at the end, but it's not as nearly as common as a bag as like a medium or a new medium, certainly not as common as a classic flap. And so what I thought I would do is for people out there that are kind of considering maybe getting a small boy bag, I'd sort of show you, I think, what my best comparison to a classic flap would be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two bags. One of them I just purchased recently, the other of which I purchased back in 2013, I believe. So that one probably isn't going to be available anymore, but I'll put the product information down below. And then I'll just kind of do a run through of what fits. And the upshot's going to be that you can essentially fit the same stuff in a rectangle mini as you can in a small boy bag. But I just kind of wanted to go through that for anybody who's interested. So anyway, the first bag that I will show you is actually one of my favorites. This is a beige patent mini. This is the first patent bag that I've showed you guys that I have. I don't have too much in patent. I really like it. I know that people really worry about it in terms of color transfer with dark jeans, you know, in newsprint and that type of thing. And I'll tell you that I've never had a problem, but my little sister has a patent wallet that she put on a newspaper, and you can see the little letter E upside down on her wallet. So I can tell you that it is something that does happen. So I purchased this guy at Neiman Marcus in 2013, and the code information, and forgive me while I read it, is 13B as in boy, A69900, Y06830, and then the color code is 96663. When I bought this bag, I still have the tag for it. It was $2,400 in 2013. I thought that didn't sound right, and I looked it up before I made this video today, and indeed it's gone up. So now this bag would cost you $2,900 if you were interested. As far as the measurements are concerned, you're going to find that they're very similar to the small boy bag, but this measures approximately 8 inches across, and it's approximately 5 inches high. And then the depth, and this is a little like spongy, if you can kind of see me like mash it around. It's certainly not the most structured bag. The depth is about 2.5 inches is what I wrote down. And then it has a single strap that measures about 22 inches and can definitely very, very comfortably be worn crossbody or over the shoulder. I know that some people have these little tricks where they can double up the chain by feeding it into one of the holes and then kind of putting a clamp in place. I've never tried that before, although I guess that's probably an option, but technically it just has this one long strap and it measures about 22 inches. So as far as the actual structure of the bag, you have the outer pocket. This is not specifically functional. I don't think you could stick a phone in there unless you had a really old, like, flip phone, maybe. It has the turn lock clasp. That is the critical factor in these classic flap bags. The inside is leather all the way. And if you can see in the back, there is a flap pocket here where you could stick some like business cards in there. And then there's a zip pocket in the back that I guess you could also probably put some cards in. But that's it. The structure of the bag is actually really simple. Really nice, and I've had this guy for a long time. So let's see, if that was the fall probably of 2013 that I bought it, we are looking at 3 years with this bag, and it's held up great. So this is bag number 1, rectangle square mini. Bag number 2 is so cute. I was absolutely obsessed with this when it came out. So I bought this winter in February, and the material on this is glazed calfskin. So one thing to notice is kind of the difference between the glazed calfskin and the regular patent leather. I do not know if glazed calfskin is currently available on any bags. Patent is a lot more common, but you can see it kind of has it's shiny, but it has a much flatter effect, and it's not, like spongy, which is my best way of describing that patent leather that I just showed you right there. So anyway, this bag is, the code for it is 16P as in Peter, A67085, Y60434, and the color code is 2B as in boy 093. Now, this bag has a much higher price point. It was $4,300 when I purchased it this winter, and the price has not changed. So we're talking a $1,400 difference between the rectangular mini and the small boy bag. As far as the dimensions are concerned, it's extremely similar to the patent mini. It measures about 8 inches across. It's about 5 inches high. It's a little higher than the patent, but I'm not sure if ultimately it's going to make a huge difference as far as what fits. If it is higher, it's by like a half a centimeter or so. And then the width is a little bit bigger, mainly because it's structured. So it really I'm squeezing it. I don't know if you can tell, but it really doesn't move around a whole lot. And the width of this bag is about 3 inches. Now, one of the pluses of having a small boy bag over a rectangular mini, not sure this is going to justify the price difference, is that you do have 2 different strap lengths that you can employ. So the first one, when you have it all the way out, it measures about 20 inches. So to me, that is not a crossbody bag. You can see how much higher that is. I guess I'm kind of pushing it. You could maybe do it, but I think it's much better as a shoulder bag. And then if you adjust the change upwards, this becomes about 11 inches in height, and you can sort of carry it as a shoulder bag. And I actually think it looks really nice like that. I think it's very comfortable and very durable. Indeed. So that is one of the big differences between, obviously other than the look of a boy bag versus the look of the classic, that's one of the biggest differences between them, is that this is intended to have 2 different strap lengths. Now, as far as kind of the geography is concerned, on the patent mini, I keep getting these confused. On the patent rectangular bag, you have the pocket on the back. On this one, you don't. And then on the inside, you only have 1 pocket, and it's a little flat pocket in the back. And aside from the kind of the roof of this flap, the interior of the bag is cloth. It's that same like nylon material that you see with a lot of the seasonal bags. And actually, to be honest with you, I am not sure that any of the interiors of my boy bags are leather. No, I don't believe any of them are. So the interior of this boy bag and all boy bags is going to go ahead and be cloth. Okay, so these are the 2 bags. Let me show them to you when they are next to one another. There they are. And then if we put them side by side, there they are. So as you can see, they're very, very similar. And ultimately what these bags are going to fit is very, very similar. So I'll just do this guy first. Open it up. One thing that I will say that I do like a lot better about this bag, and you probably maybe already witnessed it already, is it's a lot easier to get into. This flap is nice and flappy. So very comfortably I can put in this little card case. You guys have seen this before. We can pop the mirror in. I don't know why the mirror is so funny to me, but it's like in every single video. This is an iPhone 7 Plus. You can see it's 4:45 p.m. on my phone. We can stick that guy in there. And then I have a little lip gloss that I'm going to stick in there. And that's pretty comfortable. That's about what I would put in. You might be able to pop on some sunglasses on the top, or add like an additional chapstick or two, or like a, I don't know, a different lip gloss if you wanted, but that's kind of a nice comfortable amount that you'd stick in this bag. And I think that's kind of commensurate with the nature of the mini, which to me is not an everyday bag. It's something that I bring around on the weekends. So that is what fits in this guy. Pop him down. And then we have our purple boy bag. And I'm going to show you what I mean. This just, it like resists opening. So that's about as comfortable as it gets, like opening the bag before you kind of encounter some resistance, which is a little, I will be honest, it's a little bit of a pain. So we have the same things. Let's do these in order. We have the wallet, and as you can see, it is kind of a pain because you can't really watch me put this stuff in here. We have the mirror. We have the phone, which is gonna go in. And we have this, I'm sorry that I'm holding this with my face, and we have a lip gloss. And if you can see, it's right about the same level of organization and the same amount of things that can fit inside of the small patent mini. And I guess a really good point and a question that might be floating out there for people that haven't seen this bag or just haven't seen it in person is it definitely does fit the iPhone 7 Plus that also has a case on it. There's no issue with that whatsoever. I actually don't think I really have that issue with any of my bags. The iPhone 7 Plus fits inside the wallet on a chain. It fits inside a square mini, and I haven't tried it with some of my like smaller seasonal clutches, but I don't think that that's really an issue. I know everybody's always worried about that. So anyway, that's what you can pop into this dude. So as far as the pros and cons, if you're considering buying a small Chanel bag, and I guess kind of knowing that the square mini fits about as much as the rectangular mini, I think your big consideration is probably going to come down to the price point, because you know, Chanel is expensive and it's relatively inconvenient. The whole nature of Chanel is fairly inconvenient, where you can't buy the classics over the phone and you have to get on waiting lists for something you really want. And then things sell out and they're not available, and then they come back again. And, you know, there's a little bit of like hype, I think, surrounding the bags. And I think, you know, with the small boy bag, if you can sort of get over the fact that it's $4,300 and it does have kind of a hard time opening, so it's not, I don't think it's ever, in my case, going to be something where I'm going to be able to pull that flap open 180 degrees. It's an awesome bag. It looks great. That purple is a gorgeous color. It's out this season in a ton of colors, and they're all so pretty and they're so cute, and I think it makes an awesome evening bag. But the question is ultimately going to be, I think, where do you want to fall on the price? Because the rectangular mini, you're going to pay $1,400 less. You're also going to get a classic Chanel bag. So boy bags aren't considered to be classic yet. So you're going to be purchasing a classic Chanel bag. You're going to have that all leather lining. Maybe that's worth a little bit more to you. I think you could really put a lot in terms of, on the scales of these two bags. But ultimately, I hope this video has been useful in just kind of showing you the difference in what can fit inside them. And then everything else is sort of up to you, whether you want the classic or something new and fun, whether you want to have a longer strap that you can only use in one manner, if you want to have a shorter strap that you can double up, if you simply like the look of the boy bag versus the look of the rectangular mini, if you've got a thing for the fact that the rectangular mini has the leather interior and the small boy bag has cloth. I think the comparisons are, that's just kind of stylistic at that point, and that's something that you should just let your heart pick what bag you want. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this Friday. I hope that this video has been instrumental. Obviously, if you guys have any questions or concerns, or if there's any videos that you want me to make, I have a list going of everybody's interests, so I'll try to address those in turn. But otherwise, have a great weekend, everybody, and thank you for stopping by.